Hello everyone, I'm home. Welcome back to my channel. This is the current state of affairs on my dining room table. All of my Halloween and really fall looking stuff. I kept a few things out for Thanksgiving, but I always put my Halloween stuff away the day after Halloween, and this is still all over my table. I haven't packed it away yet, but I'm going to, and I'm going to leave a few pretty gold things and some leaves and stuff out for Thanksgiving, but most of it's going away. I tell you what, I've been watching the girls on YouTube and they're all decorated up for Christmas. They're completely done. They're putting out videos of tours. This is a little pumpkin doll that I made this year, and she doesn't have a face yet. I made her out of fabric and I painted her head, and her body's adorable. I just don't know what I'm going to do about her face. I'm going to pack her away because I haven't decided what her face is going to look like yet. So she's going away with the ornaments, and she'll be back out next year and she'll get fixed up. There's her little basket of all of her goodies that she's been collecting through the yard with me. And I don't know. I'm just not going to be pressured into all this. Let's get it done right now. We've got a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, and I'm going to enjoy my time. These are some geraniums I brought in off the porch. They were so pretty, and I didn't want to throw them away, so I think I'm going to see if they last a little while. We've had some really nice weather. We haven't had too much bad weather at all, and I've gotten so much done outside. I put all my things away, but I like to take it slow. I like to have my Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving, like the night of Thanksgiving. But I'm just not going to be pressured. My ornaments aren't fancy. I'm going to show you some ideas. If you like country or primitive or old-fashioned ornaments, then you'll find it here, because my ornaments aren't fancy. These are some leaves and things I'm leaving around for Thanksgiving, and I had a couple bouquets of flowers I'm going to leave around because I think it should look sort of like fall during Thanksgiving. But I have this big wooden bowl, and I keep it on my counter, and it's just chock full of pumpkins and leaves of all kinds, some that I got out of the yard and some that are silk. And this little pumpkin in the back there, that little shiny one, he came out of the free bin. There he is. And I just put everything in it. Now I'll put it, when it gets closer to Christmas, I'll put some greenery and pumpkin or pine cones and some berries in it. But there's a little gourd that I just love. He's got some seeds inside him shaking around. And there's a little apple that a girl at the Covered Bridge made, and I thought that was really cute. And this is my counter. I kind of like for things to look Thanksgiving-like this time of year. I get real excited about it. These are some crystal bowls that I keep oranges and cuties and halos in so that we can keep ahead of the old colds this fall. And then I dried a lot of oranges. I put them on a towel, and I dry them out really well, and I sprinkle them with salt. That keeps them from getting mold on them. And I put them on a baking sheet. The big ones I'll use on my tree, and then the little ones will be potpourri. Those little holes are nice in them because the light can go right through them, and the light shines through them. I sprinkle some of them with cinnamon and cloves, and those will be my potpourri ones. The house just smells fantastic when this is going on. And I bake them in the oven for a long time. Now I just use the cheap cinnamon and cloves. I get them at the Dollar Tree or the Walmart. And I put them on 260, 250, something like that, and just let them bake. Usually all day and a little bit into the next day. And then around Christmas time, I drop them in some water, and they plump right back up with some cranberries and some pine needles and some cinnamon sticks, and oh my gosh, the house just smells divine. And this is what they look like on the tree when the lights are shining through the big ones. And then I did a little thrifting this week. I got this little toothpick holder. I don't think it's flow blue, but it sure looks like it, and it's pretty. And I picked up a couple more little baskets. I love my little baskets on my trees. This one was 10 cents at the Mission, and I thought it was so cute. And then this one was a quarter. And it's kind of reminiscent of the old antique baskets, and it's only about 3 inches wide. It's just so cute, and somebody's handmade that. It's just absolutely darling. And I saw something, BOLO. I saw that I see it all the time, and I didn't know what it meant. And it means be on the lookout for, so be on the lookout for those baskets. This is my porch, very plain. I don't do a whole lot, just some simple white lights, and I'll probably put a red bow on the wreath. And then I manipulate the branches on my tree and bend them down so they look more natural. My porch, I bought this buffalo check blanket at Walmart for $2 or $3, maybe $4. And I forgot, I was going to put it on the pillows, and I forgot that these pillows had red backs on them. So I just flipped the pillows over and I cut the blanket right down the middle and stuffed it around my cushion. And one blanket covered both of my cushions, and I didn't have to cover the pillows. And I really like it. And then I just stuck this red flower into my crock, and I'll probably put some greenery and some berries, but this is pretty much what my porch is going to look like. I don't do a whole lot. I like it just simple and kind of natural. And there's my Santas. I have so many Santas. I lost count. I had 75 or 100 last year, and I bought more this year. They're just the cheap, chalky Santas, little thing, 99 centers. You can find at the thrift stores and Goodwill, and I antique them with wax or Minwax golden oak stain, or even a watered down brown paint if it's latex paint. And then I just wipe it off, and it makes them look a little bit more expensive. Then I look for Santa Christmas cards. I love those. I have a lot of those framed. And I just set them around. I have them all over my basement. I sit them in my windows. This little guy, he's one of my favorites. I got him for like $1, and I just love him. And this is my farm table downstairs, and I set one by a big old bowl. And then this is just a card I got for Christmas, and that's one of my favorite Santa images. And I put him in a frame. And this little guy, he sits in my kitchen window. You can see my green soap there. And my friend Kim Swaney, she makes beautiful Santas, and she's made quite a few for my shop. And this little ball jar pillow, she made that, and somebody bought that right up. They collected ball jars. And then she made me this snowman head several years ago, and he sits on a spring, and when you walk past him, he moves a little bit, and he's just beautiful. I keep him out all year downstairs. And then be on the lookout for old Christmas books. This is a 1942 edition of an old Christmas book, and it's just gorgeous. I buy those whenever I find them. And then this is another picture of my kitchen window last year, and another little Santa. I just set them around. They look darling wherever you put them. Even upstairs. My upstairs is a little bit different than the downstairs, but they look good everywhere. Santa's always fit in. And then my baskets that I had on my fall tree, I keep on my Christmas tree, and I fill them with greenery, and I fill them with berries or candy, and just keep them out. And you saw this little picture on my fall tree, and he's green, so I leave him on. And then I look for tarnished silver creamers and sugar bowls and stuff, because they look gorgeous on the tree at Christmas and in the fall. I just found that one. I found this huge box at the thrift store, and it was just had the most beautiful graphics on it. And I knew it'd be big enough to hold some of my Christmas ornaments. So I got one box out the other day, and when I opened it, this scarf was on top protecting the ornaments. I always pick those up at the thrift store. And look at the ornaments. I got so excited when I opened that box. These are a lot of vintage ornaments that I've collected for many years. And I was unfortunately, I had to clean out my parents' house a couple years ago, and I did find 2 old ornaments that we had. Most of our ornaments got broken. These are the 2 that I found that we had, and we had replaced them through the years, and I was happy to find the 2 that were still from when I was a little kid. And you got to understand, I thrift, and I've curated these ornaments over years and years and years. And I like primitive ornaments, and I make a lot of primitive, but I like my old-fashioned ones. And my friend Sherry, I put this big ornament by these 2 little things so you could see how beautiful and big it is. She went to an estate sale and bought some stuff that this lady had an antique store, and they were selling her stuff in boxes, and Sherry got a box that had 3 old ornaments. And look at the beautiful red on the back of this one. This one's about 5 inches tall, and someone was going to give $65 for that ornament. Can you imagine? And Sherry was so nice to give me this ornament and a couple other antique ornaments, because she knew I loved them so much, and I just love it. And then I used to make these. I've made them a couple years ago. They're like salt glazed bee stinger Crocs, and I sold a lot of those in my shop. People just bought them 6 and 12 at a time. They loved them. And then my little stockings, I've made, I can't tell you how many of those I've made. Then I cut up a branch, and I just drew a little deer head on these and used those in my downstairs tree. And then years ago, I made these little cabins. I made about 15 of them, and they're all over that tree with the little deer heads and the little stockings. And then I like to sew, so I'm always embroidering. How do you say embroidering? Anyway, I make these, and I've sold them, and I've given them away, and I make little pillow tacks where I sew the little vintage designs on them, and everything in my basement is this kind of stuff. It's just old. And then this is easy to do. I just took an old pillowcase that didn't have sides on it, and I stained it a little bit and took a stencil and probably a marker and just made that and tucked it up over one of my antique cabinets. And then this is a stocking I made with an old sweater that I'd gotten at the thrift store. And then I think candles, battery operated candles especially, are nice at Christmas time or any time. They give a nice ambiance for Christmas. And I have that one by my front door. This is an old Christmas card that my mom kept out for years and years because the kids are so cute. They're my cousins. We got this card in the 60s, and I put it out every year because they're just so darned adorable. And then my basement also has my beauty shop in it, and I don't run my shop anymore, but it's kind of decorated glitzy. It's old Hollywood, and I like the sparkle, and my ladies through the years have given me old perfume bottles and old jewelry, and I've got necklaces hanging on the tree, and it's really sparkly and pretty. And I'm going to show you that tree as soon as I finish it. It's almost done. This is me when I was about 12. I'd gotten a Donny Osmond album, a new record player, and a sewing box, and I can still remember how I felt when I got that stuff. I just loved it. And my boys, our sons, they played basketball for our high school. And I was just thinking today that 5 years ago, this is what I was doing. I was making signs and decorating the bus for tournament games and making treat bags for the coaches and the players and making signs to hang on their lockers and around the school. And I miss those days. At the time, I don't think I thought I would ever miss doing all this, but I do miss it. And these are some bouquets of candy that I made for the secretaries at the school. And I made a lot of those, and they were an awful lot of fun. And then this is one of my Victorian doll houses at Christmas time with my little Elvis album and my Christmas ornaments. I try to put some of my miniatures in all my videos. This is my miniature Christmas cabin. And it's just reminiscent of the kind of cabin I would like to stay in. It's got a lot of books and some tea and soft lights and quiet and more books and a soft comfy bed and a fireplace and Crocs and lots of books, no TV, no phone, no computer. Oh, I would just love to stay in a place like that. So I think that's why my miniatures come about the way they do. It's just I make things that where I would like to stay. And that little decoration over the bed is just a little tiny glittery ornament I found one time that says Christmas Wish. And that little cabin is my Christmas wish. I'd like to stay in a place like that. And this is a little Christmas store miniature that I have. And I made a beautiful, darling little video of it one time. I took my phone inside it and gave you a little tour. And I was playing Dean Martin Christmas music. And I got banned on Facebook. I guess the song played too long and I got banned. But I wish I could show it to you because it was a darling little tour of the inside of that store. It just looked like you were walking around. And of course I like to bake my pies, and this was last Christmas. I'm sure it was probably coconut because that's our favorite. It could have been butterscotch, I don't remember, but I put them on my cake stands and my plate stands, or cake and pie stands, and I use them all the time. This is my husband's family's Christmas. We do a thing where the kids get a gift, but the adults eat dinner, and then we pass out gifts for the adults. And whatever you open, it might be some beautiful thrifted outfit. Well, it always is. And you have to wear it while we play games. And everybody loves their outfits, and they fight over who gets what, and we have so much fun. And I thrift these things all year long, on bag days especially. And then this is a picture of my cousin. He's a teenager now, or almost a teenager, and he was enjoying my little nativity tree, and he gently touched one of the ornaments, and his Aunt Sarah got this picture, and we just love it. We think it looks like a Christmas card. My gosh, it's so beautiful. And then My forever book this week is Christmas Time at Oak Hill Farm. It's by Marge Clark, a lady that was a friend of all of ours here in our community, and she was the most talented cook, herb specialist, decorator, author. She wrote many cookbooks, and the pictures in this book are just beautiful. They're not dated whatsoever. This book was from 1994, I believe, and it's still as new as it ever was. And my friend Carl Taylor made this wreath for her. He's also a very talented guy. I want to take you to his house sometime and let you see his house. So you can find that book on Amazon, and we're going to talk about it more. And there's a place called thriftedbooks.com. You can also get that book. So look it up, because it's a timeless book that you'll enjoy for years, and we're going to talk about it more. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Lots more Christmas videos.